Hello everyone. Welcome to the Emancipated Citizen YouTube channel, or my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, wherever you might be watching this. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Zach always. Today I'm going to be talking about the tragic terrorist attack that happened in Magdeburg on the 19th of December. I know, a very tragic and depressing topic that I really didn't want to start the content with the holiday season with. But this happened to be a very important event for a number of reasons, and especially for me personally, after having discovered the identity of the attacker. Um, this is an individual that, although I haven't directly been in contact with, and I'm not associated with, have kind of watched over on Twitter and had fleeting interactions with, and know a lot of people who also interacted with in very unpleasant ways. Yeah. So to the attack and what happened, so that everybody has the context. On the 19th of December, in the small German town in Magdeburg, Sachsen-Anhalt, as the Christmas markets were full just a few days before Christmas, a BMW driver drives into the mass of people at full speed, killing 11 people as of the time of this recording and injuring more than 200. The attack immediately drew parallels to a very similar one that happened to the exact anniversary 8 years ago by a person who proclaimed himself to be a soldier of the Islamic State. And so naturally, a lot of people went off the assumption that this individual might be an Islamist or an ISIS agent. And yeah, as is the way with so many of those things, I saw the news, I was sad about it, and I left it to focus on other things in my life. Yeah, started my Christmas vacation, and I really wanted to enjoy myself and not dwell too much on those tragic events. A day later, I get a message, or a phone call, I should say, from a friend of mine, asking if I knew this individual, Taleb Al Abdulmuhsen, and as he explains to me that, as it turns out, he was the attacker in Magdeburg. That was an absolute shock. I mean, I had many indications that the person was unhinged, insane, and had problems, but yeah, very few people would have thought it would be this bad, and that he would actually be a terrorist, right? Um, so yeah, I mean, all I could respond was, I mean, I don't know him personally. I'm not directly associated with him, as I said, but basically through Twitter, yeah. So Talib Al Abdulmuhsen was a Saudi Arabian atheist refugee and someone who called himself an activist for women's rights and atheist rights in Saudi Arabia. Um, Later on, he was more involved with like grandiose, delusionary kind of um, narrative that he was building about being a part of a Saudi military opposition, which obviously is not a real thing. But yeah, he was mainly for a long time known for being a public Saudi atheist, and being pursued by the Saudi government. I guess we can start this story with how I came to know about this person. In the early days, Talib hosted a lot of Twitter spaces and online spaces for debates between atheists and religious people. Talk about atheism, talk about religion. Right. I first was told about him and warned about other atheist support organizations like Atheist Refugee Relief by other Saudi refugees, because this individual was warning people against them and making very serious accusations of other refugee help organizations being in cahoots with the Saudi government and trying to deliver people to the state and so on. Very dangerous accusations, which, as you'll see at the end, have absolutely no substance. But yeah, this was kind of part of where I first got to know about this person. Um, so yeah, I mean, in the beginning, he really didn't seem all that different from your typical internet atheist. You know, other than he yeah had obviously uh like anti-government views in Saudi Arabia, and he and his accusations against atheist refugee relief, which incidentally had helped me, and I had been in contact with when I applied for asylum, and had helped many others that I do know. Um, so those claims and accusations never seemed credible from the start, but still, I thought, okay, maybe somebody's honestly mistaken. Somebody's has some sort of agenda. But yeah, the way things developed, it was just yeah, it was a spiral into insanity. Um, Over time, his escalations, hit, over time, his accusations escalated to allegations of systemic abuse and sex trafficking, and a bizarre example of the evidence he included was, for example, showing a video of a volunteer who was hosting a female refugee at the time going to his kitchen in his underwear and I don't know, getting to something to eat, and you know those conspiracy theory threads being tied together in ways that normal people have a difficult time comprehending. By 2021, Taleb had also gained notoriety among Saudi dissident circles, right? Not for his activism per se, but more for his conspiracy-laden accusations that he leveled on everyone and anyone, as it would seem, right? He frequently labeled others as secret agents of the Saudi states, all kinds of activists in diaspora. One time he outed a specific well-known activist as an atheist, which this individual has denied, and also said that, okay, there was a confidential conversation where something was taken out of context. But yeah, basically, I mean, what I'm saying is that I've asked different people about him and the interactions that they've had with him. I've never come across somebody who said they had a positive interaction with him or see him to be a sane and stable character, in all honesty, right? As you would expect from somebody who is known for behavior like this. By 2023, Talib's behavior had caught up with him, and ARR finally filed a defamation lawsuit against him. That, of course, adding to a number of legal issues that he was facing and had faced in the past. I mean, for example, all the way back in 2013, he was, as we know now, fined 900 euros for threatening violent or illegal acts. But yeah, by 2023, Talib's online rhetoric had completely spiraled into really grandiose delusions, right? So by 2023, Talib's online rhetoric had really spiraled into grandiose delusions in private messages and in also public exchanges. He declared himself a part of the Saudi military opposition, which of course is a fictive entity here. His bio at the end looked, as you can see on the screen, Saudi military opposition. Germany chases female asylum seekers. Germany wants to Islamize Europe. They want to destroy their lives, and increasingly, he was framing the German state and German authorities as the enemy. In one tweet, he wrote in Arabic, If Germany wants to kill us, we will slaughter them, die, or go to prison with pride. Peace is no use with them. He claimed Germany was supporting Islamism, and he increasingly voiced support for the far-right extremist political party here in Germany, the AfD. Going back to some of his legal cases, Taleb had some problems with the police. Right before he committed that attack, he had to appear in court for allegations that he was abusing emergency services, making a lot of reports against individuals, calling police, and based on everything that I've said so far, shouldn't be much of a surprise that maybe the police are thinking, yeah, he's kind of abusing this system, and he's wasting their time. So he had to appear in court on the 19th of December. Of course, he didn't show up to that appointment, and later that day, we all know what happened. So why did I think it was so important to talk about this right now? Well, Saudi media is claiming that Taleb is part of an international organization of terrorism and human trafficking, including a number of high-profile Saudi activists, including Yahya Siri, for example, or Umar al-Zahrani. There are some of the more well-known names in the scene. And incidentally, some of the few people he has publicly praised instead of accusing of being the government agents, which is probably more due to their public profile than any kind of personal relationship. Because, like I said, he didn't have a very good reputation, and with this spiral into insanity, he became kind of this. He kind of turned into this conspiracy theory crackpot uncle of the family that nobody really wants to be associated with too much. And so he was kind of driven to, basically be a lone wolf in every operation that he wanted to take. The exact motives of Talib do remain completely unclear. One can speculate that was he working with the Saudi government to extradite or to expedite extraditions, or with far-right forces to make to produce more hatred against Muslims and migrants and that kind of thing, or with ISIS or Islamists, or was he just acting based on voices in his head from this imaginary Saudi military opposition? I really don't know what his motives are. I'm not going to speculate too much. I'm not going to make any definitive claims. I'm sure time will give us more information about what kind of led to this incident. But too much speculation and conspiracy crackpot shit is probably how Talib himself got to this point. I'm not even gonna go there. I dropped everything and I interrupted my Christmas vacation to make this video, and the reason for that is because I think it is so important that Talib's actions should not overshadow the real and legitimate struggle that Saudi dissidents have in many countries around the world. The Saudi regime considers atheists like me to be terrorists, not because of any violent acts, not because of anything we did, but just because we disagree with their religious views. Yeah. If they demanded Talib's extradition and said he was a terrorist, he was ostensibly only wanted for being an atheist and for having different political views. And so if their definition of a terrorist and their accusation of him being a terrorist happened to become true in that he ended up committing this act, then it is purely by coincidence. Germany and other nations must provide refuge to those fleeing persecution from countries like Saudi Arabia and other police states that would kill their citizens simply for making critical tweets that they might not like. This is what I had to say on the matter. I hope you found this informative. I hope you found it helpful in informing a kind of picture of what happened here. My thoughts and my sympathies go to the people of Magdeburg and the victims of this horrible attack. And otherwise, I hope you can have a wonderful holiday season, and you take care. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the Emancipated Citizen YouTube channel. I will see you soon. We have a lot coming up. We'll keep you updated. Take care. Bye.